Yeah. What up, it's your boy C. Will. We back with another video today. Um, just a little quick update. Um, a lot of people are liars, and we gonna show them why. If it's your first time listening to me, welcome to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. But we got to get down to business. Feel me? Let's talk about it. Shedeur Sanders. Franchise history. This is franchise history, okay? First rookie QB with 300 plus yards, 2 plus pass TDs, and 1 rush TD. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's the Titans. He overachieving." No, that's not the case. And if you watch this game and you paid attention to this game, they lost this game by 2 points. And yeah, he had a turnover trying to be aggressive, but he lost his center. O-line playing like garbage. Left tackle and right tackle on second and short, they both false started at the end of the game. And that's just a few plays. Every time they get inside the red zone, they want to do a wildcat. And this coach got some explaining to do, but he going to go up there and say it's bullcrap. But this is the point here. Let me show y'all something. 2025 NFL draft rankings. Shedeur Sanders 1, Cam Ward 2, and the rest is, you can read that crap. This was how it was supposed to go, right? But when you look at these guys that's on this list, there's one glaring thing that you don't see there. I don't see Dillon Gabriel on that list. I don't see Dillon Gabriel nowhere on that list at all. I don't see Tyler Shough name on that list neither. But people say, "Oh, there's no conspiracy, there's no this, there's no that." Okay, whatever, man. Let's look at this now. This is what actually happened. Now, that's a big discrepancy from what was supposed to happen and what actually happened. Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shough, Jalen Milroe, Dillon Gabriel, then Shedeur. And then you got McCord, Will Howard, Riley Leonard, Graham Mertz, Cam Miller, Curtis Rourke, Quinn Ewers. I just can't explain how, okay, if you want to draft Cam Ward, okay, that's cool. You want to draft Jackson Dart, okay, that's cool. Tyler Shough, Jalen Milroe, Dillon Gabriel, those are all egregious picks. Egregious. And for the simple fact that these two, Dillon and Shedeur, was in training camp together, and they watched them and they said Dillon is better than him, should tell you everything you need to know about what's going on here. So everybody want to talk about the Shedeur Glazers and this and blah, 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 whatever. But then again, I show you this. Franchise history. Again, this is his second time doing it. And yeah, it was in a loss, whatever, what have you. But the point being is when you have a prospect coming out of college, you want to see the prospect show you something that they actually can perform and play on this level, right? So if you look at his game, what do you see? A prospect that has a promising future. And that's the whole point of being a top draft pick is as a prospect, you need to show something. You need to show that you deserve where you were drafted. He was underdrafted, and Dylan Gabriel was overdrafted. But then again, I let it go. You know, people gonna hate for whatever reason. And at this point, it's no point to just yell and scream at people and tell them this and tell them that. You gonna have to figure it out on your own. This is the number one pick, and this is the 5th round pick. 14 for 28, 2 TDs, 1 interception. 23 for 42, 3 TDs, 1 INT, 1 rushing touchdown. And you can see the final score was 31-29. And then you have to ask yourself, why every time they get in a red zone, they take the guy out? He obviously showed that he can throw touchdowns when he had a chance to do it. He threw touchdowns when he was in the red zone. Correct. So we can go back and forth about this all day long, but to say the kid won the first round draft pick is really crazy to me. And then he has played the less out of all the rookie quarterbacks, and he thrown for the most yards out of every single one of them this season. He has 2 touchdown passes for 60 yards apiece. He had at least 5 throws over 20 yards. This is not an accident. If you actually watch the kid play at Colorado, then you would notice. And if you watch the TCU game, just that one game, you should know. If you watch the Baylor game, you should know. If you watch the first year Nebraska game, you should know. If you watch the first year USC game versus Caleb Williams, you should know. But people pick and choose what they want to look at, and then they close their eyes when something is good. But hey, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, minus Drew Aller, the top 4 is accurate. Minus Drew Aller, that's why there's a star next to him, because number 1, they didn't know if he was going to come out. Number 2, if you watch them play, like I said, if you watch these guys play, if you watch college football like most of us do that watch college football, you would have been able to know that Drew Aller was no good. You would have been able to know that Quinn Ewers, when it's big games, he chokes. He overthrows, he gets nervous, he gets scared. He can't, once he gets hit and he gets under pressure, he gets scared. Just watch him. If you watch these guys, you know. If you watch Jalen Milroe, you know. And Kyle McCord, I think he is actually a decent quarterback. Carson Beck, 50-50. Will Howard, solid. Raleigh Leonard is a little bit more better than Tim Tebow. And then Curtis Rourke, he's garbage to me. You know what I'm saying? He did good at Ohio, but if you want to compare Rourke versus Mendoza, then you see why Indiana won that game. Because if Rourke was the quarterback for Indiana last night, they would have lost. That's the difference between Rourke and Mendoza. Actually, I'm not going to kill Rourke like that because, you know, I know he was dealing with injuries and then he had them knee injuries and stuff like that. But if you want to compare both IU, Indiana University quarterbacks, I would say Mendoza is the reason why, you know, and I'm not going to say the whole reason because they got a tough defense. They got some solid wide receivers, tough wide receivers. And then they got the cornerback that everybody said was too short, but it seemed like that dude is a dog. He was getting with Jeremiah Smith. So IU got some players, but the only thing that they needed last year was a quarterback that had some guts, and they got one. And that's the difference between Rourke and Mendoza. But if you look at this list, 1 through 4, is accurate minus Drew Aller. Okay. And then everything after that, you can toss it up and let the chips fall where they may. But Ward, Sanders, and Dart, they was the best three. And then everybody else at the bottom of the list, you might get lucky on one of them, but who knows? But as far as top prospects, Sanders, Ward, and Dart, 3-1, 1-3. That's the way it should have been. But they did what they did, and it's over with. But if you watch this NFL season, the ones that you actually seen promise for is who? Sanders, Ward, and Dart. So all that other stuff, people should just shut up because it ain't even worth talking. You wasting your breath. Watch the games. Watch the games before they went into the NFL, and then you would know what guys can play. And whoever decided to put Drew Aller third, you just crazy. You ain't never watched them play before. So I just wanted to point that out. But once again, I like to say, this guy showed grit. He showed guts. He got hit. He stood in the pocket. That big old tackle from Texas, Sweat, landed on him. He got late hit straight to the jaw, and he just stood up in the paint and he threw the ball. Then he had a tough, gritty run when they was trying to sack him, ripped his whole sleeve off, went in the end zone, got in there, got hit, still scored a touchdown. That's what you call heart. That's the kind of stuff that I say when you look at a player, that's what you're looking for. You're looking to see if they got heart. So when you wonder why people rock with Shedeur, it's because he got heart. He got that dog in him. He ain't scared. And that's what you need to be a great quarterback. And I think he's going to be on his way. As soon as he gets somebody to believe in him, not taking him out the game in the red zone, not taking him out the game when it's a 2-point conversion game on the line, and then you get a running back in there and they run a whatever they ran and they lost the game. And then before that, you could have just kicked the PAT and you would have been down 7, and you could have just kicked the PAT and then it would have been a tie game. You know what I'm saying? Like this is easy. This is easy math. It's like they lost the game or they was trying to lose the game on purpose. But I'm not going to say that. But that's what it looked like. How you going to go for 2 when you didn't have to go for 2? And then when you have to go for 2, you take the quarterback out the game. It's crazy. That's crazy, man. But like I said, Shedeur, the ones that's with you, we with you, man. And they can draft a quarterback if they want to. But this game alone should show you that if you want to have a quarterback that can stand in the paint when everything is going wrong, when everything is going bad, when it's fumbles, punt return fumbles, punt blocks, dumb call plays, run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. If you run the ball for negative yards for the first down and the second down, and you got a 3rd and 17, a 3rd and 15, how often you think you're going to score on that? You ain't going to score on it. You ain't even going to move the chains. Because guess what? Now I know I got you in 3rd and long. Now I can sit back in the zone and I ain't going to play man. And guess what? I can sit back and watch the quarterback's eyes. And if he make a mistake, I can pick it off. Force him to throw it into a tight window. Because guess what? We know you're going to run on 1st down. You're going to run on 2nd down. And then you're going to try to get lucky on 3rd down. And if you don't do good on the first 2 downs, by the time you get to 3rd down, your chances of converting is pretty low. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with these guys, man. I don't know why they doing my boy like this, man, but it's just like, dang. And here's the crazy part, what people don't think about. Dylan Gabriel played at Oregon. That means it's 5-star O-linemen, running backs, wide receivers. They got 5-star O-linemen sitting on the sidelines drinking Gatorade, and they not even seeing the field. Colorado had Travis Hunter, a couple receivers, and guess what? A couple receivers, and guess what else they had? Nothing. Not an offensive line. Not 3 stars, 0 stars. Starting freshman. Okay? Jimmy Horn was there, but he got injured. And guess what? It was games where Travis Hunter wasn't in the game, and he still was hitting it. And that's why I was saying when people saying he only had Travis Hunter, he was getting guys open, hitting them, keeping them in the game. No running game. They know you got to throw every play, and he's standing in the paint, getting drilled and getting up like a soldier. And when you see that, you know that somebody got some fight in them. That's what I say the difference is. If you playing on a team that ain't got that many stars on it and you still scoring and you still moving the ball, it's different when you got a 5-star Jeremiah. Let's see Julian Sand on the team that ain't got no Jeremiah Smith. Let's see Dylan Gabriel on the team that ain't got no 5-star wide receiver. Who they have? Stewart over there, the one that transferred from Texas A&M. Let's see if he ain't had no 5-star offensive line and offensive wide receiver. That's how you know somebody can play, is when they playing with people that aren't that heralded. If you telling me that you got a quarterback that can make a guy that didn't want to get recruited versus a guy that got everybody wanting to pay him $20 million, that's the difference. It's the difference when you see Alabama quarterbacks go to the NFL and they don't know how to play like that. But when you see Josh Allen, he went to Wyoming. What did he have there? Probably nothing. But he's good. Brock Purdy, he played at Iowa State. He didn't have all Ohio State wide receivers, but he was good. Drew Brees, he played at Purdue. Did he have Michigan wide receivers, Ohio State wide receivers? No. But they were good. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, the quarterbacks that make it work with less, that don't have all the top receivers and all the top talent, them the guys that you should be looking at. You should be looking at them. Because Jeremiah Smith can make any quarterback look good. But what happened when you don't have a Jeremiah Smith? What happened when you don't have a Ryan Williams? That's when you find out if that quarterback really know how to play the game and move the ball, or, you know what I'm saying, he just throwing it up to the guy that he know that's going to catch it, and that's the guy that's making him look good. That's the difference. So when people say, oh, he just played at Colorado. Okay. But guess what? He played at Colorado, and y'all played at Ohio State, and you played at Michigan, or you played at Notre Dame. Now let's see what you got when you ain't got all them 5 stars. What can you do? Because when you get drafted, you ain't going to be going on the team with the top wide receivers. That's the difference. But people don't want to talk about that. But I'll let that rest. I think Shedeur going to be all right, just like I thought in the beginning. Just like I thought it was insane that the first time in my 39 years of living that I watched a draft all the way to third day to just figure out what the hell is going on here. How in the hell did he go in the third round? That had to be the most watched last day of the draft in history. After the first round, I don't never watch the draft. I was really watching the draft in the 5th round because I knew that it wasn't right. And everybody that was watching knew that it wasn't right. And at the end of the day, it wasn't right. And to have a young kid get hated on just because he can't help where he was born at, he can't help who his dad is, but his dream is his dream. Just imagine you interviewing for the biggest job of your life and you got all these biases held against you and people don't even know who you really are. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So everybody that go into their interviews and then you actually get on the job and then they already got somebody ahead of you. Y'all got to take an exam. The other guy got a 6-month advancement of training and then they throw you in the fire like, go ahead and take this test. The other guy done got baby. He done got coddled. He done got love. He done got support. But you go over there and stand in the corner and look at the wall while everybody else study. That's insane. And to hear that he was throwing the trash cans and support staff, that got to be some of the most degrading stuff I've ever heard in my life. And people talking about he can't process. But the kid graduated with a 3.8 or a 3.9. And he went to school at Colorado. Travis Hunter had a 4.0. Like, these dudes is not dumb. And the fact that people want to talk about who can process this and process that, half of these people that sitting at home can't get on the field and hike the ball. But it is what it is. Shedeur, we with you. I salute you, young fella. Keep doing your thing, man. Next up, We got the CFP bracket, and the only thing I want to say about this is this, and I'm gonna let this crap go. You got James Madison and Tulane in there, and they shouldn't be in there at all. Tulane's spot should be Notre Dame, and James Madison should be BYU or Texas, however you want to slice it. BYU or Texas at 12, and Notre Dame at 11. We got to stop giving participation trophies to the group of five schools. They should get together. Like I said before in my previous videos, the top two group of five teams play one game and they have the group of five championship, and you get some kind of payout or reward or whatever. But you can't have a lower division going against the top divisions. It's just cool. Every once in a blue moon they win, but on a consistent basis, Ole Miss is gonna mud stomp them. And then they might not even try to mud stomp them. They might try to hide all their plays, not really give nothing away, and just grind through the game just to beat them, to not have their next opponent, you know what I'm saying, know some of the tricks that they want to do. Same thing with Oregon. Dan Lannon is probably sitting at home eating bacon, laughing. Like, come on, man. This ain't real competition. That first round game is a gimme game. If you're going to give me a game, then just slide Ole Miss to Georgia and slide Oregon to Texas Tech, and let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Everybody need to be held accountable for the schedules that they put on their resume. And Notre Dame plays some of the weakest schedules ever. And this should force Notre Dame to join a conference. And I think this is another reason why the committee did it. They said, you know what? You think you're going to just sneak in every year? You're going to just sit the conference championship week out? But guess what? This time it got you. Gotcha. Gotcha, Notre Dame. We got you. We got you, Mr. Mrs. Independent. Gotcha. You think you can beat Navy and all these weak teams that you be playing, Stanford, and you know what I'm saying? You can say, what, we beat USC that's not really that good. Like, come on, man. You're playing you're playing a group of five schedule mixed with an ACC schedule. That's the weakest combination you can have. Weak. And then the actual ACC team that you played against, you went to Miami and you got hit with a hurricane. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I like to go helmets. It's cute. But maybe join a conference or have a tougher schedule so y'all can actually have an argument. But until then, we ain't trying to hear it from you. But other than that, get rid of these group of five teams. You wasting time. You messing up the matchups. It could have been Notre Dame versus Ole Miss. Notre Dame in Oxford. You know what I'm saying? It could have been Texas versus Oregon in Eugene. Like, come on, man. If you're going to give us the playoff, give it to us. You got Alabama, Oklahoma. You got Miami, Texas A&M. Shoot, I'm greedy, man. Let's go ahead. Let's get Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and Texas, Oregon. That would be fire. That would be fire. Now that's a fire playoff. Two of these first round games, ain't nobody going to watch them, man, because they already know who's going to win the damn game. Now, the Alabama-Oklahoma game, it's going to be some good ratings. Miami, Texas A&M, going to be some good ratings. If you would have had Notre Dame, Ole Miss, it would have been some good ratings. If you would have had Texas versus Oregon, it would have been some good ratings. But yet, you have James Madison versus Oregon and Tulane versus Ole Miss. And we don't want to hear that. But I digress. I thank y'all for watching this show. Let me know what y'all think about what I said. And if you feel what I'm saying. And if you don't, okay, that's cool, whatever. But if you like the content, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow. And you know what I'm saying? Keep them notification bells on whenever I come on. You can hear the real from T Will. I ain't never gonna cut you wrong. But it is what it is, man. Shedeur, he's showing that he a top prospect. That's all that matters. I don't even care about the dub. He showed that he's a top prospect. Stop hating. Get over yourself. Stop hating on a young kid living his dream. It's sickening. But we gonna get out of here. The 12 is up, wrist up, and I'm out. Peace.